Hello, this is Gail Vickers with WGSN-DB Going Solo Network, Everything Entrepreneur. Hi everyone, this is Gail Vickers with the Everything Entrepreneur Show on WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. Thank you so much for joining us. It's an honor and a pleasure to be your host today. I really appreciate this time that you've taken out to listen. Today, we're going to jump right into some of the things about being a good leader. And one of the things about being a good leader, I'm a John Maxwell certified public speaker, trainer, and mentor. And one of the things that John Maxwell talks about in his book, Intentional Living, is your life can be a great story. And basically, good salespeople know how to connect with people. And if you're going to be in business of any kind, you are going to be in marketing and sales, whether you're a highly technical person or not. If it's your own business, the number one thing you need to learn how to do is relate and talk with people on a relational and casual level, but yet at a deep and adding value level to everyone that you come in contact with. So one of the best things that you can do is just learn how to be honest, authentic, and transparent with people. That's the best way you can connect with them. No one likes to have to guess when someone else is thinking so if you're right out there and you share part of your short life or your longer life with people, they really enjoy if you can make it pertinent to that particular conversation. So for an example, I'm just going to share a little bit about my story so you'll know a little bit more about me. I was actually brought up in Ashland, Kentucky. I went to high school in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I moved down here to Houston back in 1978. I went to work for HL&P after I graduated from University of Houston at Clear Lake. And basically, I got married at an early age at 19, and I went through a divorce after 3 years, and then we got remarried a year and a half later, and we were remarried for 29 years. I have been single now for 5 years. So that's a little fact about me that you'll remember. That's part of my story. So I'm going to just be out front and open and honest with my audience on that. Now, was that the part of my story? Does it end there? No, that was just the part of my story that didn't work out very well. The part of my story after the divorce, I went back to teaching for about 3 years, and I was a kindergarten teacher, and I enjoyed that, but I knew it was time to utilize my business degree as the head of the household to get out there and actually generate more income. And so that's what I decided to do. I decided that I wanted to go out there and become the businesswoman that was inside of me. And so I took a 2-year journey into learning about digital marketing and online presence and leadership and public speaking. And I just spent hours and hours and hours online looking at all the different information. I had a little time to do that because my dad had passed and he had left me a little money, so I was able to take some of that money and invested in training and learning a new business and what I needed to know in order. So my bills were paid at that time due to the generosity of my dad. So I used that time to heal and grieve his death. And I also took that time to become really aware of what the newest, latest, greatest cutting edge techniques are in the marketing world. That said, that's part of my story. I want people to know that they can talk to you. If you open up to people, they're going to be willing to open up to you more. Also, so whenever you are actually starting your own business, you can start, if you do your website, if you don't know how to do a website, I suggest that's one of the first things you learn how to do because that's your presence. If you don't have a website these days, then you really don't have a business, because people, that's one of the very first things they're going to ask for is, where's your website? What's the link to your website? And they want to see it. And what I highly recommend, and I had a bunch of videos on my website at one time. I've taken most of those videos down now, but I do want to say how important I do think it is to communicate on a consistent basis with your audience. I used to post my videos on Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter and Instagram. So those are all great sources of advertising your business when you get started. When you are out and about, you need to let people know why you're in business. Why did you choose the business that you did? And let them know how much, you can help them. That people's time, they're very busy, so you don't want to be long-winded. You want to be respectful of everyone's time. But if you share the significance of why you got started with your business, that will leave a mark in their mind as to why they might want to do business with you in the future. Basically, and along those same lines, the reason I decided to do my business, as I said on last week's show, is I wanted to stay at home with my daughter. She was 15 at the time. I wanted to create online businesses where I could be a mom full time and, make money from home. So what I started doing is started looking at all the online businesses and the different opportunities that were already there. And I did have an art company, Global Creations, that I started back in 2010. And that was my very first business, and I loved art, and I wanted to promote artists for free on my website. I also taught social studies and was always very interested in cultures and traditions. I also taught at the local college, foreign students. I taught English to them for 3 years. So I really always had a great interest in the arts and foreign, cultures. So basically that's how the art company got started. Then I thought, okay, well, here I am. I'm a mom, and what can I market from home, and what's going to be beneficial for people. So that's when I started my company called Laptop Living 101, and I got with a business coach back then, and he was going to make my website for me, and he was going to do my branding, and he was going to do all this stuff. And you know what, folks? He didn't do it. So I was out a lot of money with that particular coach. Then I got very disappointed because I thought, I had great hopes that they were going to live up to what they said they were going to do, but they didn't. So I learned some things the hard way. You can't always trust people. You have to give them you need a deadline, and they need to live up to that deadline. And I would always say, pay half and then pay the other half when it's complete. Pay half up front, pay half when it's complete. And my business clients, I only want them for 90 days. And then I want them to be out and about after 90 days, making money, using all the techniques that I train them how to do. So I think it's very important that you do what you say, and you say what you mean what you say, and you do it. So without that, you will not, stay in business too long. So basically, those are some of the reasons why I got into what I did, and I went over that last week in last week's program. So that's part of telling your story to your audience. When you go online, they don't know you, so they need to get to know you. You can start with a YouTube. You can get a YouTube account. I have one for Everything Entrepreneur. I also use LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook, and those are free advertising. You can do promotions on there. You can join groups on Facebook. You can form meetup groups in your local area, and you can host those at your home. You can have a barbecue at your house. Invite people that are local business owners in your area. And you will be surprised if you go to the meetup groups in your area. You will be surprised to see just how many groups there are that you can join as well. And that's another great way to network for free. Another thing I like to do is send out flyers and brochures. But my favorite form of marketing my business is going door to door. I have been to every single business just about in Cypress, Texas. I have been to almost every business in Tomball, Texas, and in Waller, Texas. Those are the 3 towns that are closest to me. And I just knew how important it was to get involved, let the business owners see my face, face recognition. I'd have small chat with them. I knew they were busy, but I wanted to get out there and let them know what I can do for them. Plus, that's a great way that they can refer people. If they're not interested, they always know people that might want your service. Okay, and if you join the groups on Facebook and you get involved in those groups, the number one rule is you don't want to spam their walls. So if you're selling sunglasses, do go join those groups. And I had some people in my group that would just spam my walls with all their sunglass advertising. Well, I just unfriended those people because they weren't really trying to get to know me, or they just wanted to advertise on my wall. And that's just a big no-no in the social media world. You just don't go spam people's walls. If the organizer or the person that actually owns that wall or that group or organize that group says, okay, now everybody, go ahead and let us know what you do. And, if they open it up to that type of behavior, then that's fine. But always be very respectful of the host of that particular group. Some of them would mind, and most people do mind. And they form the group for a reason. You're there mostly just to kind of identify. You might want to do some commenting on, some of the group talk, and get involved in some of the interpersonal relationships that way. And that's how you form your relationships online, kind of like an online dating site for business. All right, so those are some advertising tips that I wanted to share with you. CC and I are proud and honored to invite you, if you're a small business owner, to join the WGSN-DB Going Solo Network's advertising group. We're offering packages of basic audio advertising packages. It's a 15-second advertisement. It plays 7 days a week. It's scheduled 2 times a day, and that's for $75. And then there's another one for a 30-second advertisement, which plays for 7 days, scheduled 2 broadcasting segments for $135. So plus a spot on the Going Solo Network with your business, a link to your business for the duration of the 7-day period. So that's a great, inexpensive way to advertise too, if you're looking at your marketing and your advertising cost. If you provide the MP3, then that would be awesome. If not, the Going Solo Network can provide that for you at a small additional cost to get that made for you. And this is a great source because I think they've got about 100 new listeners per week. So this is a great way to reach out to your listeners and get your marketing, your business out there. So I would take advantage of that if you would like to, because I've been marketing now for about, online with Facebook ads and different sources that I've used. And your marketing costs can get into the tens of thousands of dollars. So $75 for that slot is just unbelievable. Thank you, Cece, for offering that. Okay, so I just kind of want to wrap up today's session. We talked about leadership, the quality of leadership, and I think one of the best leaders on the planet is John Maxwell, because I wouldn't be one of his coaches if I didn't. But one of the things that I truly believe that is one of the best things about John Maxwell is he's not haughty at all. If you meet him in person, he's very down to earth. He'll say, "Hi, my name is John, and I am your friend." Here he talks to Fortune 500 CEOs. He talks to kings of nations. He talks to all kinds of people. He's on the radio and TV. He's probably driven around in limos. But he will come, and we were at his session, and he has the human touch. He's very warm. He walked past us. He touched our shoulder, to let us know that, and acknowledged our presence. So I think one of the best things that you can do as a business owner is be friendly. Be open, be friendly, have confidence in what you're offering your clients. Hang out where they hang out. If you think that they're going to be online mostly, then that's where you should be. If you think that if you've researched your market and you think that they're going to be hanging out at the blues clubs or wherever, as in the instance of my art buddies, they love all the jazz festivals and art festivals. So just know your market, know who you're trying to get in touch with, and hang out where they hang out. And I know that your business will go very smoothly as long as keep the golden rule in mind. Treat others the way you want to be treated. That's always the most important thing. Tell your story, but keep it short. I have often been known for the lady that'll say, I'm gonna keep this short, because everybody knows that I'm kind of long-winded. So you want to be fun, but you also want to be respectful of everyone's time and be relevant to what's actually going on in your environment. So always be present of your environment. Well, that's all I've got today. This week, I thank you so much for joining in. I'm going to be bringing different topics to you that small business owners deal with on each week. So covered leadership qualities today, advertising, marketing, and connecting offline and online. And so I really do appreciate your time. And I'm going to be signing off. Again, this is Gail Vickers, founder and CEO of everythingentrepreneur.LLC.com. Please join us there. If there's any way I can help you, please let me know. Give me a call at 713-503-8996. And again, it's been an honor to be with you tonight. Thank you so much.